Alright, today I'll be showing you how to make this border macro. I'm going to show you how to use the controls in order to make the effect that's right here. Then I'm going to show you how to make the macro in the way that I have it here. And there's some nice special things that I have about it that make it a little bit unique. And that's it. Alright, so in order to make the node, we are going to need 3 nodes, not too hard. We need in a row dilate, so shift space, hit and then type in a row dilate, enter, and then we need a background node. I'm going to grab it from our toolbar over here, which is the far one at the end. And then lastly, we need a merge node. So I'm just going to grab this from right here, and then we have this right here. So I'm going to connect our input that we have, which is our background. We're going to extend it to the row dilate. The row dilate is going to go to the background, and the background is going to go to the green input of the merge. So I'm going to hold down Alt and then hover over the merge. If I let go of the click, then it allows me to choose which input I want it to go on, and I'm going to hit foreground. And then we're going to connect our main input to the yellow input of the merge here, and then we can view the merge, and then we could use the row dilate and just put that amount up, as well as change that filter to circle. And then we have our border, but we can't see like our original footage here is because we need to put this on the bottom, but I still want to use the controls on the merge for our macro. And so how do we have something on the foreground go into the background? We can actually change that with the operator over here. So right now it's on over, but if we change this to under, then you can have the foreground input actually go to the background and the background be on the foreground, just like that. All right, and so now we could scale up and then move around our border just with these controls in the merge, just like that, very nicely. We can also change the color with the background node over here, and then lastly we could change the how much border we have with the row dilate amount over here. So yeah, that looks pretty good. And let's just make that, oh, not that much, let's make it right there, should be fine. And then I'm going to make another pipe node in order to put this over here. I'm going to hit hold down Alt and until those 2 lines are selected, and then click with Alt, and then I get this little square. It's called a pipe node or pipe router, and I'm just going to change this to rename it. So I hit F2 to rename our node, and then I'm going to say, let's name it A for some reason. There we go. All right, now we're ready to make this into a macro, but I'm first going to add a little expression on our background node, and I'll show you how that is done and why I use it on the border node that I made. So let's go over down here, and let's add the border node, and then let's just say add as text and connect it to the border over here. Let's view that in our viewer, and then let's just say my name or something like that, and then size it up. And so if say we have this border, you know, it will work the same way that it is right there. But say our input is different. For example, let's go to image and let's check off auto resolution, and let's make this different, say something like that. You can see how the border adjusts to however big we have it over here. Let's say if I put this input on our merge right now and take a look, it only does that certain area. Now that gets a problem when you're doing 4K resolutions, or you have images that are not the same pixel resolution as the timeline. So how do we fix this? We can fix this with a nice render script. So we go onto this node right here. I'm just going to undo this macro I have over here with the script I have, and let's take a look. We can go to the background node in here, and then go to the settings, and we see we have this thing called a frame render script. It basically allows us to apply expressions on certain controls without actually having to put expressions on them. It'll render every single frame for that. And the expression that we have here is adjusting the height and the width of the actual node. So if I translate what this expression means to you, is it's a if statement. So if something is happening, it will do this result, and if it's not, it's going to do this result. So right now we have the height control, and we are looking at this control, which is the user format settings. So if this control, which is the auto resolution, if you look at the bottom left hand corner, you can see that is the name of the control over there. So if that is turned on, which is checkmark on, if we have that on, then it will use the height and the width that is on this node here. But if we check this off, then it will use the input of P. And in this case, P is the name that we have for the pipe routers that are over here, and the actual expression on this node is called P_1, which is the input that's over here, as you can see. And we're basically going to steal this expression. It's using this for the height and the width, and then we have this fusion PurgeCache, which will update the node if you change the input on it, basically. I'm just going to highlight this, Control C. I will link this down in the description below if you want to use this. And then I'm going to go to our background over here. Let's go to settings, and then we're going to go to frame render script, and let's paste that in. And because we changed our pipe router to A, we just have to switch this P to an A, just like that. And now everything should work fine. So if we take a look at our text, and now we look at this here, oh, this doesn't work because our image and our auto resolution is on. So if we check this off, now this is working the way that we want. And this, and we look at the merge, now we have everything like that. And then if we disconnect that and look at this, now everything is done correctly, just like that. All right, so now we're ready to make this to a macro, and I like adding inputs and outputs to whatever our macro is. I'm just going to add like a merge node like that. And then I also like renaming the nodes inside it. If you don't want to do that, you don't need to. Let me just delete these, and then we can name this, say, and then this one could be BG, and then this one could be, say, M1. All right, that works. And now I'm just going to put the controls that I want. In order to have the controls in the correct order that I like. For example, let me just show you the node again. The border, we need to have the background first, then the row dilate, and then the merge node that's over here. The easy way to do that is basically whatever order that you highlight these nodes in will be the order that the macro shows up. So let's first highlight the background node, then the row dilate. So in order to do this, I'm holding down control and then selecting the mouse like that, and then a row dilate, and then the merge over here. And then we also need this pipe router over here. And because there's an input going into this pipe router, it knows that the main input is going to be the background node over here, and then the output is going to be from our merge one over here with this going out like that. So all right, now we're ready. We're going to go right click and then go up to macro and go up to create macro. I have a bunch, as you can see, and then this little macro editor will pop up, and now we could edit however you want. So let's say cut underscore border, and that'll be our tool. And then we need to go and see what controls that we need. And for this, we are going to need the color, the top left, top blue, and top alpha right there. And we can also change the type if we want to add like gradients or whatnot, but I'm just going for this to just do just the color that's over here. And I think that's all we need for the background. Next, we're going to need the row dilate. We're going to need the amount mainly. We can also need the filter if you want to change the filter, because we need to put that from circle to box. You can also do the lock XY and then change the X and Y amount if you want, but I'm not going to do that. So you'll need to check off this one and this one if you want to do those two. And then lastly, we're going to do the merge. So go down here. We really need the center, the size, the angle. We want to flip it. I don't really need that. Maybe apply mode if we want. Blend would be nice. And I think that is it. Yeah, that's basically all that we need. And then so we can go up to file and then save as, and then we're going to save it to our macros folder. So it should pop up with your macros folder already, and then you can just save it here. But I have certain files that I have organized in my macro folder. If we want to do that, I'm just going to save it real quick, just like that. And then we can close this. And so now if we can delete this and then we hit shift space and we type in a border, now we see our tool pop up, and then we can add, and then now we have basically all our controls that we need, and it all working the same way that our macro was before, just like that. Filter, amount, we have our other merge and other size controls, and we can do whatever we want with this border, as well as change the color to whatever we want. That is it.